All right, Shalom. Want to start by saying, call Allah, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles of Israel, aka the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and love to all the Akim. Continue to preach the truth and all truth and sincerity. All right, real quick. As the title reads, quite simple, says, and then there was Iran. Now, the reason why what brought this on, obviously through the spirit of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, but what's happening is, like, there's been, quote unquote, there's been a lot of distractions lately, right? A lot of them have been around all this presidential race candidates, Biden, Trump, so on and so forth, assassination attempt, and Biden dropping out, and a little of other things that's happening right now. But in the midst of all of these things happening, you got to understand something. The third world still approaching quickly. This third world still coming quickly. So yesterday, I came across an article, and I put the thumbnail. It was on Yahoo News, and I think I came across a regular Google search engine. I think it just popped up. And it says, Yahoo News, it says, U.S. says Iran moving forward on a key aspect of developing a nuclear bomb. Developing a nuclear bomb. Now, what has been in talk, aside from all this bullshit, what has been in talk throughout the world? War and nuclear war. Russia, NATO, China, North Korea, everybody's been talking about nuclear and getting their nuclear arms ready. But why is that? What is really going on? And as these things are going on with the war, you have what? You have like more distraction coming up as far as like fucking antics, like this WWE presidential election shit, man. Because it's all staged, it's all scripted. All right? But when you see these distractions, you gotta understand something. What else is happening in the background? And here's something that's happening in the background. See, they're not gonna focus on the Iranian, but you gotta understand, what is Amalek? Who is Amalek really beefing with? Iran. The whole thing with the nuclear treaty, the whole thing with the nuclear bomb and arms and all that, that's been an issue since I first came into the truth. And now Iran linking with Russia, China, all these countries, all these BRICS nations, all this happening with the dollar being dropped as the world's currency of trading oil, the petrodollar, all these things happening, all these things transpiring to show what? The downfall of America. Because that's ultimately what it is, and also what it means what? We're into the coming of our Lord YAHAWASHI. But I'm going to read this article real quick, and Lord want to be edifying and get a couple scriptures. So Aspen, Colorado, it says, Iran is talking more about getting a nuclear bomb and has made strides in developing a key aspect of a weapon since about April, when Israel and its allies overpowered a barrage of Iranian airstrikes targeting Israel, two top Biden administration's officials said Friday. Now, April, I remember that was, I want to say, I forget the actual day, but I know it was a Saturday because we went to the movies to see that movie Civil War, I believe. Us as a camp, actually, after we actually pushed camp, we went to go see that movie Civil War. And that was the day that Iran did that attack on Israel. Now, granted, it didn't do much, but all in all, it still happened. So it says, Secretary of State Anthony Blinken and National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, speaking separately at a security forum in Colorado, said the United States was watching closely for any signs that Iran had made a decision to pursue actual weaponization of its nuclear program. Now, of course, they're saying that no, they're not and all that, but we all know what's really about to happen, and they know too. This is all for optics. This is all for just bullshit semantics, all for show. They damn sure getting a nuclear weapon, right? Because that's the prophecy, man. That's prophecy coming to pass. Prepare war, ye Gentiles. All these weapons of nuclear destruction. The fire that the Lord is coming back. When the YAHAWASHI comes back, the nations are going to be fighting already. And then they're going to fight against him. And what are they going to fight against him with? Their nuclear weapons. But, so it says, however, Sullivan said, hold on. However, Sullivan said, I have not seen a decision by Iran to move in a way that signals it has decided to actually develop a nuclear bomb right now. If they start moving down that road, they'll find a real problem with the United States. Like, they give a fuck. They don't give a fuck about having it. They already don't like you. And hey, you talk about they'll have a problem with the United States, but you forgot who's on their side as well? You have two superpowers, Russia and China, on Iran's side. So what the fuck you talking about a problem with the United States? Okay, and obviously they don't give a fuck because they still going along with it. They still doing it what they got to do. Because what? It's Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI having them do it. That's what that's what these people don't understand. There's a higher power controlling all these world leaders, man, and all these militaries and all these countries and all these governments. The Lord said what? He works on the minds of the kings. He's telling whatever the fucking guy Iran is, or the military, whatever, to do that. He's working on the minds of Putin. He's working on the minds of Trump. He's working on the minds of everybody, man. It says Sullivan told reporters at the Aspen Security Forum, which draws U.S. policymakers, journalists, and others. It says Iran resumed progress on its nuclear program after the Trump administration ended U.S. cooperation with the 2015 deal that gave Iran relief from sanctions in return for allowing tougher oversight of the program. So basically, they're allowed to watch their shit. Shalom. They're allowed to watch their shit, but nobody got to watch America though. Here it is, all these NATO countries and probably the United States as well, all these countries, you're not checking on theirs. Y'all not saying that NATO got it. It's saying like all other countries saying they need to get their nuclear arms ready. Russia already said we already got a nuclear arsenal. And Putin said that I don't know if it's Putin or another person of the Russian military. He said that the least of their nuclear arsenal will give America hella damage. You want to talk about a problem with the United States? United States, you already got problems with Russia. Putin already declared United States enemy to Russia. So it says, Iran says its nuclear program is for civilian purposes. The U.S. and others in the international community believe Iranian Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei long has held off from giving any final go-ahead for Iranian scientists to develop a nuclear weapon. But Iran's poor performance with conventional weapons on April 13th, which is the day they attacked Israel, but we all know that was just for show. They didn't give the full out arsenal, man. They didn't go nuclear. Because it's the Lord still brewing, the Lord still mustering the host of the battle. It's not to the time to the big show yet, but that was just to show a testament that like, yo, we can attack you. And it said it was like 300 missiles. Now, granted, they had their little Iron Dome, but what's going to happen when the Iron Dome, remember, that's still trusting in man. The Iron Dome is man-made. Eventually, the Lord is going to have it to where that Iron Dome that Amalek trusts so much in is going to become faulty. But anyway, continuing on an article. It says by Iran's poor performance with conventional weapons on April 13th, when it launched its first ever direct attack on Israel as part of a days-long exchange of strikes, has had observers watching for any increased Iranian interest in pushing forward with a nuclear weapon. At the time Israel said the United States and other allies shot down 99% of about 300 missiles and drones launched by Iran following an alleged Israeli strike that killed 2 Iranian generals. Now, you think about this, right? Let's say they shoot nuclear weapons, right? Hypothetically speaking, if they shoot nuclear weapons, the Iron Dome shoots bombs out the air. Now, I know it's before it gets to a certain distance or whatever, but if it's a nuclear bomb, it's not going to just blow up and that's it. It's going to blow up and the nuclear radiation is always going to happen. That's why everybody's so timid about going that route. That's why the Lord said what? He's going to push the nation to do it. Remember, they can't go against the Lord's hand. The Lord said, who shall stay his hand? The Lord said, this will be done. The Lord said he has indignation against the nations and he shall judge all the heathen round about. That great day that the Lord says in the book of Joel and amongst many other chapters is a nuclear war that they're preparing for right now. Okay? So it says what we've seen in the past weeks and months is Iran is actually moving forward on developing a fissile material. Blinken said Friday, which is past Friday, because this article came out the 19th, I believe. It says Friday during a panel talk, fissile material could be used to fuel a bomb. You damn right. And it says he blamed the decision by the Trump administration to pull out of the nuclear agreement. Trump called the deal defective at its core when he ended U.S. participation in 2019. Instead of being at least a year away from having breakout capacity to produce fissile material for a nuclear weapon, they're probably 1 or 2 weeks away from doing that. Blinken said, adding that where we are now is not a good place. You call law YAHAWAH BAHASHAM. You not in a good place, yo. America is not in a good place. And it never will be in a good place ever again. The Lord said it was a golden cup, and the Lord said, but now it's not. There is no throne. America's done. It's finished. And everybody knows it. Everybody fucking knows it. Everybody feels it. Everybody feels there's something going on, that it ain't right. Everybody feels that this place is it's missing something that it once had. And that's what? Prosperity, progress, success. Everything now is about war and control. So I'm gonna read that again. So this after the pact ended, Trump ended it. So it says, instead of being at least a year away from having breakout capacity to produce fissile material for a nuclear weapon, they're probably 1 or 2 weeks away from doing that. Cause you gotta remember, in that time, when all that sanctions and shit, they wasn't showing them everything, and they weren't always allowing them into certain facilities because Iran has numerous nuclear facilities. Okay. So instead of, it said they're probably 1 or 2 weeks away from doing that, Blinken said, adding that where we are now is not a good place. Now they haven't produced a weapon itself, but you put those things together, fissile material and explosive device, and you have a nuclear weapon, he said. The United States was watching very carefully for any sign that Iran was working on the weapons side of producing a bomb, he said. The U.S. is also working on the diplomatic side to contain any further effort, Blinken said. Meanwhile, Sullivan said the U.S. has noted an uptick of public commentary from Iranian officials musing about that possibility since the April attacks and counterattacks between Iran and Israel and its allies. That was new. That was something that got our attention, he said. That is something that got our attention. Okay, that's something new. That's something new. Yeah, so that's the whole article. So let's get a couple scriptures. Oh, well, I wasn't going to go to the book of Joel, but we got I'm in my Bible. I was already in the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, and I'm gonna read this first. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go to Joel first, actually, because that's actually. So it's the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 9, and it reads, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. You know what, I'm gonna go to whatchamacallit. I'm gonna read the book of Joel, chapter 3, the same verse, verse 9. I'm gonna read the King James and the NLT. So in the King James, it says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. And when you go into the NLT, it says what? Say to the nations far and wide, get ready for war. Call out your best warriors. Let all your fighting men advance for the attack. This is in the Bible. It says, say to the nations. Who are the nations? Far and wide. The other nations. The other the heathens. It says, call out your best warriors. Let all your fighting men advance for the attack. And what's been happening what's been happening all this time, man? For the last few months. Almost damn near a year. Especially since this October 7th for Amalek and Ishmael. What's been happening? What war talks have increased? Nuclear war talks have increased. The spirit of war has increased. Oops. Verse 10 in the King James, it says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I'm strong. And in the NLT, it says, hammer your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Train even your weaklings to be warriors. Train even your weaklings to be warriors. Who is Iran? Now, Iran is one of those nations, man. They weren't always in the big, and they weren't always in the big leagues. But what, they got the resources, right? That's how they're saying they're strong, because they have the uranium, they have the material, they have the resources to make this bomb. Because now your strength goes part of your nuclear capabilities now, not so much your actual body and like your fighting, because this war is not going to be fought on the ground. This war is going to be fought with bombs and fires. And remember, it says what? Beat your plowshares and the sword. Those are your modern day missiles. They're getting their missiles ready. They talk about what? They was making a bomb. And verse 11 in the King James, it says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. And in the NLT it says, come quickly, all you nations everywhere. Gather together in the valley, and now, O Lord, call out your warriors. Verse 12 in the King James, it says, let the heathen be wakened, and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. And in the NLT of Joel chapter 3, verse 12, it says, let the nations be called to arms. Let them march to the valley of Jehoshaphat. There I, the Lord, will sit to pronounce judgment on them all. That's what's coming. The Lord is about to judge these heathens. And when you go up to a few verses up, it talks about the nations parting his land. And who's in his land right now? Amalek, Edom, Ishmael. Those are the people that's some of Israel, Jacob's closest family members when you go back into the history, man. Ishmael and Esau was Jacob's brother, and Ishmael was what? Would be Jacob's uncle. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, Jacob's uncle. Yeah, Isaac's brother. Right? Yeah. So, what we talking about here, man? And the Lord said he's going to root these nations out of his land. What else? Okay, so we can go back to Matthew real quick. So, and this is Matthew chapter 24, verse 3, and it reads, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? And in the NLT it says, later YAHAWASHI sat on the Mount of Olives. His disciples came to him privately and said, tell us when will all this happen? What sign will signal your return and the end of the world? What sign will signal your return and the end of the world? But what world is that? When you go into 2nd Esdras chapter 6, verse 9, for Esau at the end of the world, Jacob's beginning of it that followeth. When you go into Numbers, the 24th chapter, it says what? A star shall come out of Jacob and will smite the nations, roughly paraphrasing. He's come back to rule with a rod of iron. That's what John saw. John saw YAHAWASHI coming back and ruling and smiting the nations, man. That's what he's coming back to do. Oops. And it says, and YAHAWASHI, in verse 4 of this King James of chapter 24, it says, verse 4 of Matthew chapter 24 says, and YAHAWASHI answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. And in NLT it says, YAHAWASHI told them, don't let anyone mislead you. Verse 5, it says, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Lord, and shall deceive many. And in NLT of verse 5, it says, for many will come in my name, claiming I am the Messiah. They will deceive many. And in verse 6, it says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. And in the NLT it says, and you will hear of wars and threats of wars, but don't panic. Yes, these things must take place, but the end won't follow immediately. See? And so they're not going to just go right back to the nuclear war and the third woe. This is a build-up. Remember, this is the ultimate suspense. It's building up to that. That's why he said the end will not come immediately. So you have to hear wars and threats of wars, rumors of wars. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now, or experiencing right now. Wars, rumors of wars, threats of wars. This person saying this country saying that, this country saying that. We're going to do this, doing that. We're going to do doing that. It's all across the board now. In verse 7, it reads, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences, and earthquakes in divers places. And in verse 7 in NLT, it says, nation will go to war against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in many parts of the world. Earthquakes, famines. They say it's a famine right now going on in Gaza because of all that shit going on. And that's because of the war going on. They saying there's high rates of starvation over there. Men, women, and children. A lot of women and children starving over there. Nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. You got Russia and Ukraine. That's Esau in his own kingdom, saying his house divided. All these things happening. America's divided. America's extremely divided. And it's only going, and remember, the Lord said, well, it's only going to get worse. The Lord said these are the beginning of sorrows, and I think it's in this chapter. Oops. I think, yeah, it's in this chapter. And it's the next verse, actually, verse 8 of Matthew chapter 24, and it says, all these are the beginning of sorrow. And in the NLT, it says, but all this is only the first of the birth pains with more to come. With more to come. So it started. All these last day prophecies, they started. So they're only going to intensify, and they're only going to roll towards closer and closer to Yahawashai's return. That's what he said. What should be the sign like coming? And Yahawashi told him, yo, this is the sign of my coming. And who's ruling right now? What did the angel tell Esdras? Esau is the end of the world. Who's ruling now? Esau. That's what the world is. That's why the earth is going to shit. He's defiled the earth. It was him. It's their fault. The Lord used them. And the Lord used them to punish us. But what did let's get, matter of fact, speaking of, we go to the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 21, and it reads, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. And we go into NLT of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 21. It says, are you rejoicing in the land of Uz, O people of Edom? But you, too, must drink from the cup of the Lord's anger. You, too, will be stripped naked in your drunkenness. You too shall drink of the cup of the Lord's anger. That's to you Edomites, man, from the top on down. So from you central banking families, you elites, you Rothschilds, all you motherfuckers at the top of Esau's, whatever. From the very least to you fucking motherfuckers in the trailer parks. Meth heads. If you come from the bloodline of Edom, the Lord said the cup of the Lord's anger shall pass through unto thee, man. You too. And in verse 22, it says, Lamentations chapter 4, verse 22, it says, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. And we go into the NLT, it says, O beautiful Jerusalem, your punishment will end. You will soon return from exile. So what? The nation of Israel is not in the land of Israel. But who's in the land of Israel? The same people he just mentioned in the same chapter, these same verses I just read. Edom, Ezekiel 36th chapter. I do it defile the land. That's how we know that you Esau, man, because you're in the land right now. And you're the one that's saying that you're the chosen people. But everybody knows that's a lie. And that's why everybody, when somebody calls you out on it, you fucking defame them. You try to destroy their character. But you can't do that to the prophets of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, because you know why? If you try, that's you admitting that we are right. And of course, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI is right, because what he said, I declare things that are right. A righteous judge, a righteous God, a righteous Lord, mighty to save. So it says, oh, beautiful Jerusalem, your punishment will end. You will soon return from exile. But Edom, your punishment is just beginning. Soon, your many sins will be exposed. And you're being exposed now. And numero uno enemy is who? Amalek. Everybody hates Amalek right now. Everybody despises Amalek with America. But especially you Amalekites, man. You small hats and you non-small hats. The world is against you right now. The world can't stand you right now. And just like that. And just like that, and it's getting worse for you. And here it is, you're getting worse. You're waxing worse. You're getting more evil. You're getting more wicked. You're getting more prideful. That's why the Lord said, what? When he comes back, he's going to bring the proud down. Bring down the lofty and the prideful, man. That's what Yahawashi is coming to do. He's coming to humble the world. He's coming to humble the earth. And deliver his elect. And destroy you heathens and you Edomites, man. And put you under his feet. Under subjection under him and his people are the Israelites, the 12 tribes, the sons of God, the men and women and children that come from the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. To return them to their land, the land that he gave to their fathers. Not you fucking devils. You ain't the Israelites, man. Nothing fits a prophecy. Nothing fits a prophecy of you being the Israelites of what's going on right now. You fit these motherfuckers. Eat them. Matter of fact, hold up. Let's get it. I don't think I ever read this in the NLT actually. So we got Ezekiel 36, chapter 36, verse 5, and it says, "Therefore, thus saith the Lord, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which is synonymous with Edom, which have appointed my land into their possession, with the joy of all their heart, with the spiteful mind to cast it out for a prey." That's you, Esau. Who's in the land of Israel right now? Esau, Amalek. But the Lord said, what? All Idumea. The Lord said, his sword shall be bathed in Baz or Idumea. I know one of those two. But it's still synonymous with Esau, Edom. And we go into the NLT of Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 5. It reads, "This is what the sovereign Lord says. My jealous anger burns against these nations, especially Edom, because they have shown utter contempt for me by gleefully taking my land for themselves as plunder." So what it says, especially Edom. So he says the other nations, but he says especially Edom. Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. And why does the Lord hate Esau? Because what he represents and what he be doing. He has him being the son of perdition. He has Esau being a vessel of the thing to represent the things that he hates on earth. All the things that the Lord hates, Esau does, and he pushes. Oh yeah, you could be a Mo. Sure, adultery's not bad. Oh yeah, sure, nah. You could do all that. You could do all that in his kingdom. I'm gonna read that again. So this is Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 5 in the NLT, and I like the way this runs. It says, "This is what the sovereign Lord says. My jealous anger burns against these nations." So he mentions the other nations, and then he says, especially Edom, because they have shown utter contempt for me by gleefully taking my land for themselves as plunder. And we go to verse 6, it says, this is King James, it says, "Prophesy therefore concerning the land of Israel, and say unto the mountains, and to the hills, to the rivers, and to the valleys, Thus saith the Lord, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and in my fury, because ye have borne the shame of the heathen." That's the land. Who knows? The land is sure enough defiled, because in that land, them small hat rabbis, these motherfuckers be sucking baby rods. Like, come on. And the NLT, it says, "Therefore prophesy to the hills and mountains, the ravens and ravines, and the valleys of Israel. This is what the sovereign Lord says. I am furious that ye have suffered shame before the surrounding nations." Because all you nations, a lot of you, Ishmael, Edom, whoever else is in the land of Israel, you probably got some Hamites there, wicked ass Jakes. Ain't nothing righteous going on in the land of Israel right now. Nada. Nothing righteous. That's why the Lord is so angry, and that's why the Lord gotta fuck him up. And he will. Okay? And in verse 7 of Ezekiel chapter 36, this is King James, it says, "Therefore, thus saith the Lord, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, I have lifted up my hand. Surely the heathen that are about you, they shall bear their shame." And you go into the NLT, it says, "Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says. I have taken the solemn oath that those nations will soon have their own shame to endure." And that's what's happening right now. And he's doing that with Ishmael. Because he's tearing Ishmael ass up right now. Fucking Palestinians and Gaza, all that, that's Ishmael, man. Ain't jacking y'all up. And Allah ain't left up a finger to save none of y'all yet. Dying by the boatloads. So call all YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI for that. Because what he's making do on his word. The Lord said what? His word should not come back unto him void. The Lord said it, that shall it come to pass. For sure. For sure. Matter of fact, it said the sovereign Lord. Let's see what they got for sovereign. Go into etymology real quick. Oops. Sovereign. So you said it kept calling Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI sovereign, right? So you go into that word, it says superior, ruler, master, one who's superior to or has power over another. And Yahawashi definitely has power over another. And Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI definitely has power over another. He has power over all the heavens and all the earth. That's why, that's a perfect title, superior. Power over another. He has power over everything. Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI does. And there's no other God. There's no other God. The Lord is making so much noise, and not yet another God has come forward and say, I'm a powerful God. That's why the Lord said, what? Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, what? I'm a God, there's no God with me. Matter of fact, hold up. I gotta get going soon to start this. Hold up. Which chapter is that? Okay, it's 6. So we go to the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 1, and he says, and he said unto me, in the beginning when the earth was made, before the borders of the world stood, or ever the winds blew, before it thundered and lightened, or ever the foundations of paradise were laid. See that? Before it thundered and lightened, or ever the foundations of paradise were laid. Before the fair flowers were seen, or ever the movable powers were established. Movable powers were established before the innumerable multitude of angels were gathered together. So before all of this, before the angels, before the flowers, before any movable power was established, it says, verse 4 says, or ever the heights of the air were lifted up, before the measures of the firmament were named, or ever the chimneys of Sion were hot, and ere the present years were sought out, and or even the inventions of them that now sin were turned, before they were sealed that have gathered faith for a treasure. So what? The elect, the angels, all of that, man, the flower, everything, man. Oh, I got it. It says, verse 6, and here's the point. This is so 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 6, and it says, then did I consider these things, and they were all made through me alone, and through none other. By me also they shall be ended, and by none other. So that's Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI saying what? And when he looked, he said all these things were made through him and him alone. The earth, the heavens. Matter of fact, hold up. So Ezra said to the angel, I'm going to read verse 7. I'm going to read verse 9, because I talk about Esau at the end of the world. So it said, then answered I and said, when shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the hill of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob's the beginning of it that follows. So who's ruling now? Esau, Edom. So now we at the end of what? Heathen ruling over Jacob. Because after it said Jacob's the beginning of it that follows. So how's that going to come about? Yahawashi. He's gonna bring that. Yahweh's gonna have him bring that in and deliver Israel, starting with the elect. Speaking of which, hold up. No, hold up. 4205. So I'm gonna end it off with this. So this is how you know that the Lord created everything. There's no other God with him. So we go into Isaiah chapter 42, verse 5, and it says, thus saith God the Lord, Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, he that created the heavens and stretched them out. So the heavens above us, he stretched them and created them and stretched them out, right? And it says, stretched them out. And it says, he that spread forth the earth, which we are in right now, we are in the earth, and that which cometh out of it. He that giveth breath unto the people upon it, and spirit to them that walk therein. So what? Man, beast, fish, insects, birds, fowls, everything. Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI created. And there's no other God to say otherwise. There is no other God. And the Lord said, if there is another God, bring him to me. These other gods that these nations follow, a lot of these gods, they all stem from, go back to Babylon or some shit that happened after Yahawashi walked the earth. Islam came well after Yahawashi walked the earth. You know what I'm saying? So like, Like, what are we talking about here? No other nation has stopped what? The sting of death. Or their God, or their gods they quote unquote that they worship. Because the Lord said what? The power of death is in his hands. What did Yahawashi tell John? He said what? I now have the keys to hell and death. He's the ultimate judge. Judgment's been given unto him from the Father, the creator of everything. The Lord said, well, I created everything. Stretched out the heavens and the earth. Created man upon it, breath upon it, gave spirit, breath to all things that walk on the earth. That's it. So call on Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI for that. Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI for that. So, with that, Lord, when it's edifying, shalom to all those watching. It's such early morning. You know what I'm saying? Like, just, hey, we almost out of here. You see this shit going on. With that, I'm saying? All praises to Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI BAHASHAM KAKADASH. Double honor to the Positive Israel, a.k.a. the Positive Great Millstone. Shalom till next time. Shalom. Hey, man, just keep praying, keep watching.